Mike, why is January 25th an important date on the Notre Dame recruiting calendar?
It is Notre Dame's big junior day recruiting event. Now they've been doing this since Freeman has been head coach, where so the junior day is basically, hey, we're gonna invite our top guys in the 2020. This year's the 2026 class, so it's that next recruiting class, and we're going to have meetings, games, fun, meet like all these sorts of meetings and stuff. And then it usually coincides with a hockey game. So January 25th, Notre Dame does have a men's hockey game. So we're reporting about this at Blue and Gold, that all the visitors we just had intel on one Connor Salmon, a speedy wide receiver from Virginia. Notre Dame, one of his off-season visits, also going to Penn State and Clemson. I would say, I mean, he's going to Notre Dame the 25th, Clemson's in like February 1st, then, excuse me, Penn State's February 1st, and Clemson's in March. That's actually the order I would put his top schools. I think it's Notre Dame, Penn State, Clemson. Notre Dame would be over the moon to land this 6'1", 190-pounder. Again, from Virginia, ranked as a four-star prospect, number 141 overall, number 21 wide receiver in the country per the On3 industry ranking. Definitely a top target for Mike Brown and company. A top offensive line target will be in town for this, Tyler Merrill, from Cumberland Valley in Mechanicsburg, PA. Top 100 overall player, 6'5", 330 pounds, the number 5 interior offensive lineman in that 2026 class. And then someone who Notre Dame offered in December, Xavion Griffin-Haynes from Rollsville, North Carolina, 178 overall player, number 17 edge, according to the 2026 On3 industry ranking, a former North Carolina commit. He tells Blue and Gold that he's going to be visiting. So that's just 3 of the top targets in that 2026 visiting for that event. And there is a lot more to be confirmed. Just so much of our focus right now, I still am writing some recruiting stuff. It is on the national title game. I mean, can you blame me? But look, you have January 20th national championship game. 5 days later, you're hosting a big recruiting event. There is no days off for this coaching staff.
2025 recruits, couple of guys pretty high on Notre Dame.
Yeah. In the 2026 class, a pair this week putting Notre Dame in their top group. First, you have Tiki Halla from Bastrop. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but in Texas, 4-star prospect, just inside the top 300 nationally. Notre Dame loves this prospect. And he's been to campus a couple of times. It's been a little while, but he's been to campus a couple of times. Oregon, USC, Texas, and Notre Dame, the top schools for him. Actually, let me confirm his 2 visit dates for Notre Dame, because I said it's been a while. Yeah, it has been March 2024, and then he visited for a game in 2023. So that's Tiki Halla, 6'2.5", 285 pounds, a top interior defensive line target in the 2026 class. And then you have Zach Forts. He's from Long Beach, California, but plays his high school ball at IMG Academy down in Bradenton, Florida. Ohio State, Florida, Alabama, Florida State, Georgia, Notre Dame, the top schools for this 4-star prospect, ranks as the number 100 overall player and the number 11 safety in America per the 2026 On3 industry ranking. So Notre Dame working to build some momentum in the 2026 class with this playoff run. Zach Fort would be an incredible land. I think Notre Dame's probably on the outside looking in on his list. For Tiki Halla, I think it's maybe Texas 1, Notre Dame on the Longhorns' heels, though. So a couple updates there for you.
Mike Singer from Blue and Gold Illustrated, my guest. So you were down at the Orange Bowl watching the Notre Dame Penn State national semifinal. First, we have to comment on how important the play of Steve Angeli was late in the second quarter to help this football team beat Penn State, because let's recall, up until that point, the offense was still trying to find its footing.
Yeah, that was simply a massive 3 points to put up on the board, because 10-0, Darren, felt like 30-0. It just really did. And then Notre Dame gets a spark. It's like, oh, moving the ball. And I thought Steve handled himself really, really well. Took a hit or two, but Abdul Carter was just absolutely torching Notre Dame's tackles. He was tremendous. Uh, yeah, and then you get the ball to start the second half. You go down and just march down the football field and score. I believe that was the drive that Riley Leonard had that beautiful ball to Aeneas Williams, schemed perfectly
Oh yeah.
by Mike Denbrock. And then it's like game on, 10-10, game on. I mean, you're sitting here and be like, man, Notre Dame just doesn't have enough in the tank. It's 10-0, and then you just turn around, put 10 points on the board, and the rest is history. So yeah, Angeli definitely gets some credit, but a lot of unsung heroes in that game. Like Tosh Baker battled his butt off.
Did.
Tough game for him, but battling his butt off. Riley Leonard to come back into the game and show off his competitive nature. Christian Gray's had some tough
Oh yeah.
moments just getting look, when you play main coverage like that, everyone in the stadium knows you're on an island out there, and you just continue to battle. You make that interception, which I can't believe Penn State was throwing the ball like that in that situation. I mean, the decision there by Drew Aller and the offensive staff to even be in that position, and then Aller to throw that ball, just kind of mind boggling to me. But hey, Notre Dame's going to take advantage of it. So. But yeah, kudos to Steve Angeli. You know I'm a big fan of his, and I think he showed why I'm so high on him in that little stretch there at the end of the first half.
Mike, 2 years ago, there was a lot of hope with the wide receiver recruiting class brought in. Things happen, but Jaden Greathouse is still a member of the Fighting Irish and had the biggest game of his career in the perfect time against Penn State when they really needed a boost on offense.
Yeah, first time in this long season that Notre Dame had a 100-yard wide receiver,
Isn't that
and
crazy?
it is. And yeah, was there some fortune with the DB slipping, if you want to call it, the slip, or did he just break his ankles? I would call it a slip. It just is what it is. But he made the play in the open field. Like, he made plays throughout the game. The clutch one to put Notre Dame in a position for Mitch Jeter to catch that or to kick that game-winning field goal. This is what you've needed out of the wide receiver position, because if you have just some elite quarterback back there who makes you look good, you don't need to get much separation. He's going to put it on the money every single time. That's great, but Notre Dame just does not have that. Riley Leonard is elite in different ways.
Yeah.
He's just that gamer who gets things done. He can make the throw when it's there. But the running threat with Riley Leonard is what makes him so special. He's not Brady back there. He's just going to sit back in the pocket and deliver on dimes. So you need wide receivers to step up and make plays, and Jaden Greathouse did during that football game. And I think that was just a really good moment for him to carry momentum in for his 2025 season. Still got, a big game here for the
Yeah.
2024 to 25 season, obviously with the title game, but he's going to be riding cloud nine, I think, really, because he was a huge part of Notre Dame reaching that title game.
Finally, Mike, just a quick thought on the championship game.
No, I don't know, Darren. I usually pick. I'm going on 6 years covering this football team, and I feel like there's one or two instances where I haven't picked Notre Dame to win a game. It's just like, if I pick Notre Dame and they lose, no one's gonna give me any crap for it, right, Darren? If
Right.
I pick Notre
I
Dame
know.
to lose and then they win, I mean, I'm gonna get YouTube comments and tweets and message board posts for weeks about, like, "Oh, Mike, you didn't believe so." It's like,
No win situation.
it's yeah. Well, you just pick Notre Dame to win, and it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, who cares about Big J journalism anymore and giving honest opinions? But with that said, I lean Ohio State to win this football game, but Notre Dame's just not the team to count out. Just that
Yep.
intangible factor with them, and Notre Dame's undefeated since my daughter's been born, so that's something that I'm very much considering. So I'm gonna hold out on making a prediction until the last minute, but when you talk about that Ohio State team and you watch the game against Texas, do you come away thinking, man, that team is beatable, or man, they didn't play that well, and they still beat a really good Texas team by 2 touchdowns. Maybe somewhere in between, but Ohio State is beatable, but they're going to be a very tough matchup for the Irish.
If Notre Dame wins the title, Irish fans will make your daughter's first birthday the greatest ever by sending presents left and right as a
We'll ta
thank you.
we'll
As
take
a
it.
thank you. Hey, what's happening right now at blueandgold.com? Obviously, what a time to join the family with the Irish in the national championship game.
Yeah, what a time indeed. Dollar for 7 days. So if you just want to try us out for 7 days and see what all the fuss is about, that's all of the premium coverage on the team, recruiting. Our guys cover both basketball programs, and I mean, tons of recruiting stuff with the junior day coming up. Message board of thousands of Notre Dame fans where we just talk about anything and everything going on in Notre Dame football and the sports world as a whole, and as well as a bunch of other off-topic things. So I would love for everyone to go to blueandgold.com, try it out. It's $1 for 7 days. If you don't want to renew at full price, just cancel before the 7 days, and you will be just $1 out of your pocket. And I think it'll be well worth it. Your time, and I think that you're going to want to renew because it's awesome.